Darn mystery box. Okay, so this is episode 15 of Trek Prodigy. Yeah. And in this one, they go to the mysterious, what was it called, Blue Isle or something? This weird planet with storms on it, and they go there to get genetic help or something. And there's this clone lady who's similar to the clone lady from Star Wars in the cloning planet, the Camino planet. It's similar to that. But they have a space elevator, so there's going to be like a drop down from Incredible Heights scene. There's a couple of those in there. Because they like that, because that's J.J. Abrams right there. This is a Marlowe Faki episode, I guess. Masquerade. Clearly the ensign on the ship is, spoilers, somehow related to all the stuff that's going on. She's too friendly with the recovering diviner guy. It's got to be some sort of connection there. She wanted to go on the mission. Janeway wanted to send micro torpedoes to stop the Romulan Tal Shiar that want the ship. So they know there's a weapon on the ship at this point. So do the Romulans, and they want the weapon. So that actually puts a wrinkle in the theory that I had last week, in that, okay, if everybody knows about it, they've already made contact with it, then they're just kind of like, if they already know it's there, then they're probably not after it because the star's going to go nova. It's probably not that what causes the star to go nova. They probably want it to create the Mars explosion later on, in a year or so, according to the timeline. Or they want to go to Silly Track. They kind of are in Silly Track. Well, so they go to the kids go to the clone lady. And the clone lady, was Dahl. He's part humanoid, and he was a creation of Eric Sung, which would put him his character, or at least something like his character, 100 years earlier. So several hundreds of years earlier. He shouldn't have been Eric Sung. He should have been Noonien Sung. I think they screwed that up. It should be Data's father, because that would make this Next Generation. It's not classic Trek. Eric Sung is from Enterprise. They screwed up. Or call him Alton Sung, and he's from the 2380s. They could do that, but they screwed up. They called him Eric Sung, so they screwed up. That's the guy from Enterprise, 2151. It's supposed to be 2380 something. He would be over 200 years old, so the kid would be over 200 years old. It doesn't make sense. So they should have said Alton Sung. I think they screwed up there. It's Alton Sung. Anyway, so apparently also or Decepticon rogue Dreadnought will make a reappearance at the end, as well as what appears to be a future version of the girl, in disguise as who else is looking for the ship, as the ensign. She's a future character, a similar character to the which does not really make sense. Was she able to do that? Shapeshift and stuff? Maybe she's just a changeling. Then that would make sense. She was a changeling from the Dominion. Although they came from they didn't come from the Gamma Quadrant. They came from the changeling. They came from the Delta, a different quadrant. So they've messed that up. If that's a changeling, yeah. I'm trying to be Gwen. I'm assuming future Gwen. Future Gwen from Starship Strange Worlds. She hasn't yet been officially introduced. They're treading on the other story a little bit. But yes, she's the. But they needn't worry, because this has already been established this season, and we're not going to give away what the next season is, because, well, we don't really know. We're guessing. And there's no way that would happen. It's a fan film that we're doing, so fan films. And it's going to be after the Robotech thing, so it's going to be a little ways off. But yeah, it's Dahl gets an implant that makes him messes with his genes and makes him have space puberty, and he grows fangs and gets all powerful because he's jealous of Thady Mokana, who's in the story. And it's kind of creepy there, because Thady Mokana at this point would be in his 70s or early 60s, and they're basically like teenagers. That's creepy. Okay, like it would make sense if the girl was 50 or 52 at this point. That'd still be a little creepy, but he's in his 70s. Maybe he's doing the Steven Seagal in his later movies, starring as a 60-something-year-old man go to the nightclub and meet up with some 20-year-old that suddenly is smitten for him all of a sudden. It's like, no, it's not going to happen. Only in the movies. Anyway, so, yeah. So Masquerade is fine. It's exciting. There's some ridiculous Romulan fight. 2 different places. The hulls and shit. Anti-gravity boots are used, and lasers and phaser beams. And phaser beams seem to act like piercing rounds, sort of. And even though it's a plasma beam, so the phasers would actually kill them, go right through them, but they don't. They act more like the stormtroopers in Star Wars, and they can't shoot. So be Tal Shiar agents. How does Janeway even see what they're doing over there? Are they in another solar system? That kind of doesn't work. The only way that would work is if they're in silly track, and space and time has no meaning, and they're just sort of kind of like, it's over there. I can fire into another solar system entirely with torpedoes and not be noticed by the admiral that told me not to fire. Yeah, Admiral Kal Kat there. Don't fire, Janeway. It wasn't Kal Kat, though. I think it was Tom Paris or something. No, it probably wasn't Paris either, because that would make sense. It was somebody else. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't me, because I wouldn't be the same rank as Janeway. That wouldn't make sense. I'm the same age as Will Wheaton's character Wesley, so who was younger than Tom Paris. So that wouldn't work. How would he get promoted above Janeway? He'd be the same rank, I guess. Wouldn't work. Anyway, so yeah. Anyways, yeah, the Okana jealousy thing that was hinted at last season, but yeah, it doesn't work because he's like 70 and she's like 16. It's gross. It's like grandpa, basically. Space grandpa. It doesn't work. That's just weird. And if she's like an alien from time, space, from the 2400s, I would take it from this. Yeah, they're doing the time travel thing. It's clearly the ship and stuff, or the incident that happens at the end of the story is what leads to the other race being wiped out. Maybe that's not what they're doing, but it kind of seems like it. Like maybe the weapon is unleashed on the Diviner's homeworld at the end of the story, and that's what leads to them going back into time to the 2380s and being trapped there for 16 years, or earlier, 2060s and being trapped there. But that still doesn't really make sense unless it's silly track, in which case time and space are combined, and there's 78 years between classic track and Next Generation, and hundreds of years between that and the present, and yet they somehow can come together and hang out. Anyway, it doesn't make sense here.